water, earth, fire, air. Long ago, the four nations lived together in harmony. Then, everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
No party like a Diddy party.
There hasn't been an egg hunt for 5 extended years. Until now with the form? No. It's the hatch. But, hold up. Wait, everyone is hating on it. And a boycott is ensuing? This can't be. No. But wait, let's start at the beginning. And it all starts with Broken Toy 09. Our buddy Broken Toy here seems to have uploaded some suspicious models to their inventory. Broken Toy is a Roblox administrator that has uploaded assets for previous events, such as the Roblox Deathwalker for the Hunt First Edition. And this year is no different. First off is a gift box, which isn't too out of the ordinary since the base mesh for it has been used for past items. The next two don't have visible models, but you can see on their titles that one is for Halloween and the other for summer. It's obvious we're seeing a pattern here. Well, except for spring, but that's where these eggs come in. This one is called Time Energy, but the other one is nameless. Later on, the aforementioned Time Energy model was privately published on the catalog by Roblox themselves in 2 parts. The electricity portion called the Energy, and this hourglass in an egg. Okay, you know what? I believe it's been like 3 months since the Hunt Mega. It may very well be possible that the next event is an egg. David Bazooki. What does this mean? It seems to be different elements. Wait, no way. I'm just gonna rearrange this and... Oh my god, wait. Go together, go! But yes, this was David Bazooki himself alluding to an egg in the upcoming event. But we've yet to receive any official announcements. Hell, we don't even know if this is truly an egg or maybe just a singular prize. I mean, I don't know. I don't see this and see. What is this? A package sent by Roblox? And inside is, of course, an egg. I can't believe it. It's official. And it came with a note. They're basically rewarding us for solving that fractured egg puzzle. And from the note, it seems that we should be expecting more things to surprise us, and that we, as the Roblox community, will be banding together for an upcoming cause. Oh, I'm sure we will. But as the day passed, more and more eggs were revealed, and they all seemed to match the 10 elements that made up the fractured egg, as well as the ones Roblox tweeted. Saying that the entire community was completely exhilarated would be understating it. And not too long later, the event's name was revealed as the Bro, get out!
This shit means something to me.
The event would be released on July 2nd, the first egg hunt in 5 whole years. This is what we've been waiting for. Not the hunt, not the classic, no, nay. Egg Hunt 2025, the hatch. Wait, why don't they call it Egg Hunt? And why is it in July? I joined back in 2021. I'm finally gonna see what this egg hunt hype is all about. The hatch isn't just another egg hunt. Whoa, they just call it an egg hunt. That's official. That never happens. Until now. It's going to be the largest one in Roblox history because we're calling on 1,000 developers to help build it. Are you ready to start collect? We're calling on 1,000 devs! That initial hype train that was steamrolling through the fraud allegations for this event was left, confused? There was the initial hurrah for the declaration of the Egg Hunt title, but the 1,000 devs could have meant one of 2 things. That there will be a single game that 1,000 devs have worked on, or, 1,000 games. And based on playing events for the past 7 years, I was immediately subscribed to the fact that there'd be 1,000 games. And Stickmaster Luke did say this. Hold up, is that Booker from the Great Yole Tales? Huh? What is this game? Is this the one with the bot lobbies? Okay. I'm not opposing it. What? Oh, I play this. This game's cool. Okay, this is a joke. No! Okay, wait, this looks real. Okay, that's not good. That definitely confirms that this is a dev hunt, like I expected, but did they just get this now? I don't know about you guys, but that makes it sound like Roblox barely let the devs know to start developing. Bro, this is the same exact problem the hunt had. Roblox had 3 whole months to plan this and they only let devs know now? Roblox event links. Hello people, I'm here to show you the mechanics of the next The Hatch event on Roblox. How we'll be able to get eggs, how the games will be used, etc. To start, in the Hatch event, you must use the Hatch hub to teleport to other games, otherwise you'll be unable to obtain the eggs. Once you're inside a game, there will be a hidden spawner located somewhere in the lobby or map, where an egg will drop after 1 to 3 minutes. After that, you will have to find where the spawner is hidden to claim the egg. The eggs that drop from each game are randomized for everyone, and you can encounter duplicates which will require you to join another game to try again. There will be roughly 1,000 games in this event. Remember that hype train I said? Well, now it's completely stagnant. The people that were ecstatic to find out that there would be a new egg hunt were now found to be confused and cautious of said event. These people included the players, many YouTubers and those connected, and later on it would be revealed that devs weren't too fond of this either. Okay, so essentially we know now that there are 1,000 games, and it makes sense now because each game would only take around 3 minutes. 3 times 1,000 divided by 60 equals 50 hours to play all of the games, or 5 hours every day for the 10 days that this event runs for. And again, 10 days isn't enough for 1,000 games, especially for normal players. Plenty more games of greater magnitudes and popularity announced their appearance in the Hatch. Doors, Regretivator, Pressure, and Piggy, you know, the good stuff. And all seemed fine until a discovery was made by Green Lego Cats. Green Lego Cats is a YouTuber that covers important news on Roblox, and a lot of it recently has been about the safety concerns the Roblox platform fails to resolve, let alone acknowledge. Regarding the Hatch, Green Lego Cats revealed that a condo developer named The Official Teddy was found inside of a game connected to the Hatch called The Form. The Form is a game with an application that all invited developers would join and verify whether they would opt in or opt out their game chosen by Roblox. The keyword here is invited because any regular player would be immediately kicked out upon entry. After this reveal, the community was furious. In the morning of the very next day, riots ensued. People were absolutely flaming Roblox for their negligence over this lack of moderation, or at least a surplus in the reliance on AI moderation. A hashtag created subsequently after Green Lego Cats' post called Boycott the Hatch was trending on Twitter. But most importantly of all, games started dropping out. Doors has opted out of the event. No. Regretivator has opted. Pressure and Piggy. Job application is opting, along with the player base's distaste for the AI and lack of care for the community. The developers responded with a strong dissonance towards how their games would be implemented and the lack of creativity towards it. A bunch of smaller games revealed their departure, which was followed by the heavy hitters leaving too, grabbing everyone's attention, except for Roblox, as on the same day everyone was leaving, they sent out another teaser for the Hatch. What are we doing, Roblox? There was some skepticism about whether Teddy was truly in the form, and if it was just a visual bug from being kicked like a normal player. But as it turns out, bro was literally in the developer Discord for the Hatch. He was promptly removed from said Discord and was announced accordingly by an admin, yet his Roblox account and his games remained untouched. In the span of 24 hours, over 40 games had publicly removed themselves from the Hatch, and likely more in private. The hashtag Boycott the Hatch movement has shown tremendous growth and support from the community, and YouTubers would declare their detachment from the event unless great measures were taken. It genuinely seemed like this event was already doomed to fail, but then unexpectedly, the final blow was delivered. A tweet made by 15. The Great Yolktales will be getting a sequel. Easter of 2026. This reveal couldn't have been at a better time. For once in the past couple of days, there was a semblance of hope in the Roblox community. Everyone was joyous, wholeheartedly excited for an event, and we were all there for them.
This shit
Actually,
means something to me, man.
time passed after the crazy 48 hours of stress and drama. It was revealed that Teddy's right-hand man was legitimately dating a minor. Roblox made another lousy announcement in the Discord server, allowing devs to become a little more creative with their quests.
Roblox, how about Teddy?
It also confirmed that, in some way, there would be 1,000 eggs. Roblox made an official tweet reply to Minitoon's withdrawal from the Hatch, finally name-dropping Teddy, saying that they took appropriate action towards the situation by removing him from the event.
How about you ban him and wipe him off the face of the earth?
Roblox dropped new trailers everywhere except for Twitter. The FAQ form for the hatch was released, and the highlight here was that each of the supposed 1,000 eggs will not be rewarding a separate egg item with each game and badge. Brilliant. At the same time, models for another Deathwalker was revealed, as well as rarities in the hatch. Each element of the eggs will have 10 variants with differing rarities. Another trailer was released, and the hub looks amazing as ever, as expected from Twin Atlas. Prizes were then leaked, revealing a total of 10 eggs alongside other items. Guess my theory was right. And now finally, the moment you've been waiting for, Roblox made the official Teddy announcement that he has been banned. In another reply tweet. Within the linked document, stripping all the app, it reveals that Teddy and his games were in accordance with Roblox's rules, but that another incident caused his banning. Roblox stated that they tried their best to help Teddy make his games align with the rules better, but inevitably failed, and so Roblox was, quote, removing the ability to play their games until we know there is an owner who can run the games in compliance with Roblox's rules. At this point, it kinda seems like Roblox isn't even speaking to us, because how are they receiving the input that we wanted him banned and that he shouldn't have been here in the first place, and yet their reaction is to try and help his game stay on the platform? We're in a conversation that doesn't include us. This is a win for the battle, but the war is yet to be resolved. The general consensus seems to be that the majority of people will not be playing, but of course, some people still want to play. I've seen many users defer the boycott, some straight ridiculing it, and I think this is just plainly wrong to do. Sure, you don't have to follow the boycott, but don't put it down either. But the same thing goes with the boycotters. People shouldn't be harassed to leave the event, both as a developer or a player. For many, this is truly their first egg hunt. Being able to say they've at least experienced an egg hunt is something important to the newer Roblox community, especially considering how many times they must have heard how great it was. And while I totally agree, when people say egg hunts were great, that they were the pinnacle of Roblox events, people are talking about Egg Hunt 2018, Egg Hunt 2017, 2016, 2013, and so forth. But as Roblox grows older and older as a platform, what grows alongside it is a fanbase that yearns for the older Roblox, or at least something retro. And I'm in the same boat, bud. But with said fanbase comes many characters, the blind idolizers, the cranky vets, and the imitators. There's a clear admiration for the olden days of Roblox, and while I may not certainly agree with the way some of these people handle it, I truly understand it for all of them. I'm not one to follow trends simply to follow trends, but rather for believing in the intended purpose of it. For instance, using blocky Roblox noob avatars was a cheap means of making a simple and clean outfit, and the same concept applies today. This isn't retro slop, nor does it follow the ideas of what retro slop is. If Roblox 2.0 and Shaggy weren't artificially inflated as hell in the market, I'm sure everyone would go back to using it. The same sentiment goes for the Roblox egg hunts and events in general. The entire purpose back when it started was to gather up the community, play and complete quests with each other, and earn awesome prizes in return. While egg hunts prior provided all of this in one game, which was preferable but not needed, these new The events have provided a hollow representation of the core concept of events. The supposed egg hunt, the hatch, is the same but worse because we know what an egg hunt should be like. Supposedly, you play for 3 minutes and leave. No interaction with players, no substantial quest to complete, and by the time you're finished with the event, you only gain a fraction of prizes compared to the games you've played. These trends, these events, they're not for the community anymore. They're just there to convince others that they're better than they really are. But it doesn't have to be that way. We're the ones making the trends. We're the ones who are or aren't planning the event. Hell, sometimes we even make them. We can decide what the purpose is, whether it's good or bad. So let's make it good, as a community. On a side note, while the event was developing, this Roblox Events Discord started a competition to see who could receive the most badges from the hub, like for acquiring normal items, discovering biomes, and obtaining the live event items, which we'll get into later, okay? So I formed the clan called the Dev Team, consisting of 4 members and I, and we set off to be the top 3 on the leaderboard. This will be an important factor in my gaming decisions. The lobby opened for the day before the event started, so I had to spread some awareness.
Release the guppies!
Newgen.
It's Teddy.
What makes you think they took 2 weeks to ban me? Play my games in the hatch. I don't think they like me. 10 minutes before the hatch started, the dev team riled up for the prelude. Oh hey Hoba. As soon as the timer hit 10 AM, the hatch would start and we would all sail towards the main island. Walking aimlessly revealed the first of many biomes, the connection biome. Inside the portal revealed too many games for me to process. I couldn't pick one, so I picked one I was familiar with. Yes, the first game I chose was Slot, but I think that sets the bar appropriately. Okay, so the first thing to mention of many games in this event is that there are no indicators of what to do or whether the game's even related to the event except for the logo appearing at the top after joining. After playing a little, I finally located the egg. Upon retrieving the egg, the reward revealed it to be of primal rarity, which will turn out to be the second rarity. They implemented the play next mechanic, which was helpful in saving some time. Let's go, Prison Hustle. What the hell? The second thing to mention is that you don't know whether the eggs will spawn in the lobby, the rounds, or whatever, which is further worsened by the first problem, so you're running around without knowing at all where to go. For instance, in this game, I did a single escape with no luck finding the egg, but then stumbled upon it under the stairs. This egg was common rarity, which was the third rarity. And on to the next game. Or so I thought, because the third thing to mention is that none of the games have been tested. This game doesn't even load, and believe me, many more will have similar problems. For the first day and for a while, you had to rejoin the entire game, deposit your eggs, head through the cutscene, and then you can make your way back to the portal, which contributed to a lot of wasted time. Anyways, I was made aware by the dev team of another biome, the darkness biome. We decided beforehand that we would be completing the darkness biome first and try to take spots on the leaderboard because dark is nonchalant and aura. Entering the portal, I was met with another list of games, and once again, it was too many for me to decide quickly. I chose Mike Up since it was a surprise to see. Surprisingly, it had an in-game guide. And surprisingly again, the quest was short, sweet, and simple. The next game I couldn't find it, so I left. Next up, I chose Retro Studio. This game is one that stands tall amongst the rest of the other games in this event. In the game, you actually have to go back to the future and do some parkour to seize the existence of the Robloxian 4.0 from ending the world. This game is one of a handful I can call peak from this event. The next couple of games had their eggs in the lobby or had a little obstacle course. A lot too I couldn't find and gave up on. Some games had big maps, so it was more difficult to look around. There would be some things you'd think would lead to the egg, but they would just be distractions. And a lot of games were just straight up broken and didn't work. Joining back into the hub, I stumbled upon an architect launcher and got the architect hat. I discovered the light biome, the last biome of this region, as well as learned the existence of the egg merging station and the egg hatching pedestal. At this point, I was made aware that discovering each biome counted as a point for the dev clan, so I discovered all of the biomes in each region, and then I decided to go back and finish up my progress in the darkness biome. Oh look, it's musical chairs. Oh well, it's not the one from the suite though. The guys in the dev team were also playing this. I noticed that, no one was in the server. And then I realized, newbie! They're all bots! No. This is the game with the bot lobbies, and the egg only spawned in the servers with the real people. That's pretty cool, I guess. After that game, that left me with one more egg to collect, and I could get it by merging if I got another primal. Merging worked by using duplicates of commons or primals to get a better rarity. Usually, it costed 7 commons to get 1 primal, and 3 primals to get the final rarity, a mythic. Anyways, I luckily found another primal in the next game. With all 3 primals, I can finally create the last egg I need for the collection. And just like that, our first collection is done. That's so nonchalant. After over 90 minutes of playing, I would have the darkness egg and also hatch my second prize. Next up, we gotta see if I placed on the leaderboard. Okay, well, it didn't load, but we'll come back here, alright? But there's no time to stop. Let's do air biome, and I'll tell you why. The air biome had this little obby, which was the perfect inconvenience that convinced me to try and place here too. I did the stolen ragdoll engine game, then I went back to the darkness biome to check my placement. Hey, let's go third! Wait, 10 minutes? Alright, whatever, it's time to lock in, bruh. Air biome, you're mine. Hi, can I get a Koahu egg? Oh yes, I'll be right back. Wait a minute. Sorry, but did you order a Kohahu egg? Yes. No, I don't know where it is, sorry. It's okay. Good night. After another 90 minutes of playing, I was ready to start merging to complete my collection, again merging 3 primals to form the mythic. I obtained the air egg, then hatched the air egg, and after a little refresh, it was revealed that I placed 19th. But the grind doesn't stop here. Earth, you're next. Just kidding, cause I guess Earth was so popular that all the spots have been taken. With that information, I gave up on any other biome placements. I noticed that Duncan Mudd, one of the star creators that got an egg from Roblox, was in the server. I quickly grabbed myself a Herald's egg. That only leaves me with a developer's egg to collect. But anyways, let's head into the portal and continue the hunt for the eggs.
There was a misinput.
This cart ride game was one of the hardest ones. Other players kill you, unforgiving obstacles, too slow and you're derailed, but too fast and you're dead. Creekcraft here sold at the end, but then this pizza guy took us to victory. Thank you, Forsaken player.
Yo, you got one shot?
Bro, hey.
Hey.
This is phasmophobia?
Yeah. So it's like give you like three to four quests, right? And then when we complete that quest, and then we just gotta complete those quests, and then yeah.
Alright.
So you gotta come here, right? Go in the little green area,
Alright.
right? And then.
You alright? What the hell? What the? What the heck? On the quest to reach the top of the leaderboard for the Dev Clan, I went on and played a bunch of games for each biome to try and fill up most of that biome's collection. And for the ones I'm missing, I used the trading mechanic with my team and whomever else I may cross paths with to finish my list with the eggs they don't need. Trading being added into this event would serve as a half-baked solution to a lot of inconveniences regarding the RNG for the event. After getting a bunch of duplicates, you could trade and possibly get the exact egg you lack. The way you communicate with others is by saying the name of the biome, followed by the position it's in from left to right, because no one's remembering all these names. That being said, I traded people through the Roblox discussion Discord and helped a bunch of my friends along the way. Sarahi joined me and we played around in Teddy's game. Surely this isn't a cover-up. So we knocked that game off, Color Block, Indo Voice, which had a cool little radar quest, Squid Games, Shark Bite, Be a Silly Chopped Seal, Sprunky RP, Funky Friday, and finally Pet Story. That ended with me at 1 egg left for the connection biome and 2 more for Sarahi. This actual random guy on the server was nice to both of us and helped us complete the collection for the connection biome. Surely you guys get it by now. Play the games, get a couple of eggs, then trade for the rest to hatch and get the items. I'm gonna do that with each and every biome, and I'll see you guys when I'm done with the event. Alright y'all, so I'm making a trade for ice eggs, which will put me at 1 egg left for the biome. I finished off all of the other biomes, so let's try and get this last egg. Okay, this one looks easy enough. Okay, so I found it, but it isn't the one I needed. But thanks to finishing that game, it completed the quest and the reward it gave me was the exact egg I was looking for. I completed my entire collection of 100 eggs, I've gotten all the items, normal and golden, and essentially completed the event. As for the placing for the Dev Clan, we consistently stayed not only as the top 3, but at first place. Let's just say, we negged the other clans. Most of the collections were completed at the trading post, cause my tactic involved playing around 15 games for each biome, then trading for the eggs I couldn't find. I even traded for a bunch of eggs from the time and energy biome to essentially skip playing a bunch of games in that region. In the end, I was 212th, or safely 213th, to obtain the collector's basket. Even after helping my friends and clan during the hunt, I still ended up with a pretty good placement. But this didn't feel like the end. It honestly felt like there was more to be done. And I mean, there are gonna be live events, assuming that this quest is hinting at something, which would contribute to the Dev Clan's leaderboard. And that does remind me that I discovered a leaderboard that recorded the amount of games a player has completed, and the top 100 were only at 200 games. Since I did obtain the basket and knocked a bunch of games down, that would provide me with a greater chance to place on this main leaderboard. Whatever, I'm just gonna get some well-deserved sleep. Alright, good night. Good afternoon. I'm playing games, just to pass time. Oh hey, Slow Read and my other friend are here. Say hi to the camera. Okay. Look, I'm just gonna play a couple of games. I mean, I don't want to miss any good integrations, right? Throughout the day, I helped my friends complete their entire collections since I was garnering so many duplicates from playing the games. Newbie and Profile from the Dev Clan couldn't play as much as me, VX, or Clouds, so we helped them complete their collection. After playing a while, we amassed 174 points, far surpassing the other clans and remaining us at first. While playing, Slow Read found Twisted Pandora on the server. Poke was in it too apparently, but he left. I continued playing and completing more games until I realized I might be close to the leaderboard. After a quick calculation, my hunch was confirmed. The top 100 barrier was around 300 games out of 412, and I was in the ballpark of 250 from a manual count since there was no actual indicator. If I kept my pace or maybe even sped up, I would definitely secure a spot on the board. My friends cheered me on and waited, game after game, to finally see my name pop up on the leaderboard. And in due time, there I was, Van 190 on the board. Now, my purpose was clear. Stay on the leaderboard. But to do that, I'd have to play every single game left. This night will be tough, but I will be tougher. We'll talk about the games in this event, but in the meantime, I'll catch y'all on the flip side. First of all, what the hell is up with all the Squid Game games? There were multiple Ragdoll games, some straight stolen. Way too many tycoons, which I'm assuming most are from the same people. Way too many Obby Butcher on the Bike clones. A bunch of freaking Escape the Whatever games. Skibidi Toilet. Basically, this is a mobile store iPad baby game galore. And I'm surprised PetSim wasn't even here. That dastardly game. Like I said earlier about some games applies to the event in its entirety. A bunch of games just straight up didn't work, a lot of which actually got removed. If they did work, it's likely you knew nothing of what to do without a tutorial, but thankfully they started getting made during my run. Honestly, before these, I must have said a variation of "where's the egg" a literal 100 times, and it seemed like everyone else was doing so too. The play next button sometimes wouldn't work because the proper permissions weren't properly set in place. Whether it be teleporting from game to hub, and what I wanted but didn't get often, was game to biome that the game was from. Aside from all that, let's talk about the noteworthy games from the event. Let's start with the trash. This lava stairs game was coded in some way that the lava was rising inconsistently between players, and for me personally, it was rising way too high for me to apparently be able to get the egg. So how'd I fix this? I had to play the game on my phone. How does that even happen, bruh? That's ridiculous. There was literally an egg hunt game in the egg hunt event. What kind of buffoonery is this? This tower defense game had an obby for everyone to complete. It wasn't that hard, it was just that the jumping and run speeds were different, so areas like the wraparounds were a little more trickier. And at the end of the obby, the egg... there's nothing up here, bro, what? At this point, there were still no videos, so I was kinda cooked. And this guy's evil for trying to gatekeep this travesty. I did the only thing I could do and looked around, and wouldn't you know it, I found it. But then I got teleported to a match. When I rejoined, I thought I could try to alert some people, but you can't fight the tide. This game is called Dragon Ball Rage, and the main thing for this quest is to defeat this chick enemy. The problem is that all of the attacks one-shot noobs like me. Without proper attacks to kill the enemy, I had to resort to trying to leech off of others. After a couple of failed attempts, I must have dealt enough damage for the egg to show after it was finished by someone else. These games just show how untested the quests were. Well, look who I found here trying to sell game passes for the quest in the only game they're in. The money's changed here, bro. What kind of timeline are we in that these are the games that are in an official Roblox event?
Doesn't anybody realize this is the worst egg hunt ever? This game literally has 400 stages in it. Are they seriously?
Tung, hear me out. You had to go into this hidden hole which no one would bat an eye at. This is the only Tung game with any care in it, albeit little care. There was this cool podcast game that made you interview homeless people and enslave editors to make your projects. Wait, that's a good idea! This time-stealing game had an obby. You had to press a couple of buttons, making sure not to fall. But after they're all pressed, you can walk through the walls, and after a little juke, you can get your egg. An example of a satisfactory integration. I know that's not who I think it is. Man, make those tutorials, bro. A handful of these anime games had some of the most beautiful animations I never would have expected from a Roblox game. These were some of the most spectacular singular minutes of gameplay from this event. These animators are just built different. These two games used their time in the hatch to make good tutorials for their games. A smart move to allure new players. And Jailbreak is finally back into a Roblox event. You're trying to get the treasure, so you get this key, open a bunch of doors, and solve a little puzzle to finally get the egg. And because of the simplistic nature of this event, I was able to see a bunch of games I'd never see again or at all in the Roblox event. Imagine if it was revealed that all of these games were going to be in a new Roblox event in addition to some of the goats that dropped out. It's safe to say that it'd be the most stacked event ever, but unfortunately, that event is the hatch. Other than that, most of the other games were only cool because me and my friends made it cool, but there were some games that were truly diamonds in the rough. Tower Heroes made a little claw machine minigame. I hope they can find some way to use this in the future because coding this couldn't have been easy. There were a couple of boss fights from the games and they were all pretty good, but the one from musical chairs takes the cake. In the intro scene, it looks like you can just grab the egg, but you'll actually have to fight the egg itself to get it. Most of the fight is your good old dodge and attack, but the real meat of it is the special attack where you have to find the right seat, which I didn't get until it was too late. Nearing the end of the fight, bro was just spamming his ult, but now we knew his strat and was able to piece him up and get the egg. This game was just sensory nonsense, but awesome. What? Is that The Sopranos? In easiest game ever, you start by entering this egg world. In it are mini parkour sections and puzzles that contain switches at the ends, that all together open this gate. In this area is a reference to all of the worlds in the main game, and the egg is somewhere to be found here. I found mine in the apple area. Good quest. I want to commend these games for their silent protests. This game put their egg in a dumpster. And for this game, if you looked a little closer, you would see the actual egg hunters' eggs making fun of the hatch's eggs. I'm pretty sure this game's inspired by Pico Park. The game's a straightforward 2D platformer, and for the event, they made a whole new map for us to complete. There's nothing to complain about here. And for this game, you have to find... What the hell? We have to get to a capsule, but someone needs to take us there. After waiting a while, something finally happened. Yo. No! The caretaker took me in and... I was trying to convince it to take me to where the egg was, but it kept spouting nonsense. 10 out of 10 rage bait, bruh. Eventually, they actually led me to the capsule and I was able to start the quest. Are you serious? Wait, what? Oh, shoot. How do you know my name? Oh my goodness gracious. I don't even know where I'm going. The main objective here is to find these radios cause we're playing hide and seek. With each radio reveals a memory from the ghost we're playing with. When we find this radio, it gives us a cake. Huh. Don't mind if I do, right? No. Noobs! After finding all the radios, your turn for seeking has ended. And now, it's only fair that it's our turn to hide. But I'm not doing that. I'm going back to the capsule. I don't want to play anymore. I need to end this by killing you. Unfortunately, I can't be helped. You know that. But thank you for playing with me. All that for an egg, bro.
So, player, you picked this game out of the 1,000 games? Quite a lot, but don't worry, I won't waste your time any longer. Your goal is to find the egg around the map. But if you don't find it in 1 minute, I'll give you a hint. Good luck. Goodbye now. Wait a minute. Is it true that the eggs are AI generated?
That's funny. They talk about AI generated.
Oh, hell no!
Chills. Absolute peak. After playing for 25 hours straight, pure grind, I completed the majority of the hatch, and I'll get onto the rest later. At this point, I was 62nd on the leaderboard. Oh shoot, I missed Skip the Toilet in this game. God, I need some sleep. But I can't because the first live event's happening soon. I'll just thug it out for now and see how that goes. The live event isn't really a live event at all. The egg just bounces around twice, then at the end you just claim the prize. Well, that's another point for the Dev Clan. Those last few games took the wind out of me, and at this point, I had no sleep. It honestly felt like I owed my body some rest, even if it didn't feel right since it was 11 AM. But I caved in, and waking up felt horrible. I would feel my face, but it wouldn't feel like it was mine. Was this worth it? Whatever. After 2 hours of sleep and a meal later, a new game was added. Bruh. Now, for the last 4 horsemen of the hatch. Demonfall, Hunters, Zombie Uprising, and Fish. And I would defeat them all. First things first, Demonfall was way too esoteric and unfriendly to noobs. Like, how was I supposed to know that I shouldn't have died in what I thought was going to be the tutorial? Anyways, dying apparently was terrible, and it made it a lot harder for me now. The quest here was to fight and kill an egg enemy. First of all, these guys are scary. Second, they were kind of far sometimes, but I found a teleporter. And finally, they weren't easy to initially defeat, and I also wasn't taught that you had to eat them to finish them off. Fortunately, that meant this wasn't impossible, and like Dragon Ball Rage, I just have to find someone to leech off of. Except this one would be a little harder since I'm in an uncommon predicament. After luckily stumbling upon someone to get help from, I was able to finish this wretched quest. Thank you. Hunters just didn't work. If you collected the egg, tough luck buddy, the badge wouldn't count. Zombie Uprising was kind of the same thing. Your player data wouldn't load if you came through the hatch hub, so there was no way to get into the game and look around for the egg. I tried to do some glitches like tricking the server and lag switching my internet, but to no avail. When I said there were 4 games left, put a little asterisk because there are actually 5 more games alongside those other 4. These 5 games are kind of like Hunters, except you wouldn't need to obtain the egg again. The actual hatch hub just didn't register the badges. All that's needed is the hub to be fixed in order for these badges to be registered after joining the game and rejoining the hub. Fish. This one is pure frustration because the developers had implemented the mechanic before the event where players under level 500 would be immediately sent to what were essentially noob servers. These noob servers didn't have the egg, but the regular servers did. This makes it so that if you weren't a sweat on Fish, you would be banished alongside the other noobs with no egg. Players that played Fish before were getting the eggs all willy-nilly, but I had a trick up my sleeve. Remember that I said I tried the lag switch for Zombie Uprising? Apparently it worked for Theodoric and Fish. I tried doing it myself with an official lag switcher, and after countless teleports, as soon as I saw this fail message, I knew I was in. I quickly grabbed the egg and left the game. Now, all that's left to do is wait for the games to be fixed. Zombie Uprising has been fixed. Obtained. Hunters has also been fixed. Obtained. That puts me at 26th on the leaderboard. Holy cooking. Okay, it's 4th of July, so I'm gonna go out with my girl. Don't release any games, Roblox.
Fuck you. Okay.
At some point, Blade Ball was added, making it 406 points on the board. That's honestly kinda random, but if you think of it, it's only been 2 days into the event, so I guess it's not that crazy. I got it later in the night, but didn't record anything because I was busy, so I don't know my position. Let's just say it was 10 PM on July 4th. Oh my goodness. The broken badge games were fixed in the hub. I'm literally out of town right now, so I dropped to 96th, and after quickly rejoining from all the games, I regained a higher position back at 59th. Wait, that's only 4 games out of the 5. Capybara Evolution is the last game of this event with the badge, and I'll have no clue when it updates. Damn it. Capybara Evolution got updated a couple hours ago, and I just got it now. That leaves me at 82nd. But I wasn't ready to end it here. There could be another game to be added into the pile, and actually, there's a game called Squid Game Tower that might be re-added. For context, at the very top of the leaderboard, you can see that these people have 412 badges. This extra badge is from Squid Game Tower that got removed a while ago. I tried playing the game and even found where the egg would have been. I even checked the commands and you could theoretically get the badge if the super admin gave you it. Unfortunately, I didn't know it then, but there would be no Squid Game Tower to be re-added, and there would be no more games at all to be added later on into the event. With that out of the way, let's shift gears back into the Roblox events community competition. Rewind back to the 4th when the first live event happened. Only 2 clans were completely maxed out on points, and of course, Dev Clan reigned supreme, all 5 of us getting the super egg first. Back to the present, and around 6 clans were ready to max it out. The time comes for the second super egg. It follows the same format as the first, bounce around in each of the biomes, then finally hatch the egg at the end. Claim the prize, then boom, point for your clan. Remember, I was still on vacation that day, so I couldn't really record it. But anyways, the MP was first, Cat was second, and Dev Clan sat at third. But that's okay, cause now we know the pattern. Every 2 days a live event will occur. The egg will bounce in each biome, and we must quickly obtain the item. 2 days passed until the 3rd live event. We were ready, and developed the strat to teleport to the biomes rather than walking there to get it quicker. Unfortunately, we kinda choked on the egg's second hop. I mean, it just blends in, bruh. By the time we claimed the egg, we once finished again at 3rd. Nah, something has to change. We went to the last area without an egg, the main plaza, and scouted out for points of interest. This time, we will be prepared to take it all. Oh god. Unexpected live event. The prismatic egghead dropped in if you completed every quest. I didn't really talk about them, but it made you do tasks in the lobby and mainly required you to merge a bunch of eggs. But there were merging festivals and stuff, and blah blah yada yada, it doesn't matter. But just know, we already grinded that stuff. When you teleported through each biome, the egg was right in sight, so there was no confusion this time. This round in, the crown was back in our grasp this time, and we finished at 1st place. At this point, we didn't really know what would come now, but we were still prepared and ready for what would come next. We kinda doubted that anything would show, but we waited until the regular time, and wouldn't you know it, the meteor egg showed up. Unfortunately, it wasn't the actual egg item, but rather another one of those event counters that accumulated to the actual prize. Not gonna lie, I definitely think that all these event counters are faked. I checked in 12 hours later and it's conveniently halfway through, but whatever. That means that the egg will be ready in another 12 hours, right at the same time as it landed earlier. All we must do now is wait and be ready to be there. Newbie and I are in. Profile joins us. VX is in, making us 4. Over these last couple of events, we tried our best to be on time and not sell during the actual event, but mistakes happen. Profile and I were late to the second one. Most of us were selling on the 3rd, and VX wasn't there during the meteor landing. Newbie and Clouds were always on time and early during events, but Newbie couldn't play as much as me or Clouds. Let's just say all of us fumbled a little throughout the event, except for one guy. On this occasion, the guy who got the basket ahead of me had the 2nd most games played of the event, was always on time to every event, even ones that didn't happen. Clouds, the guy who never sold, had sold at the most crucial moment. So where was he? We found him asleep in the badge game. This made the group livid. In the rec server, I won't lie, we talked smack, we trash talked. We said we'd solo, call it karma since that was our whole thing coming in. But the guy who talked the most trash couldn't keep his word when it all came down to it. He blamed his alarm for not going off and that he was on Do Not Disturb, but either way, the damage has already been done. The clan ridiculed him for his slip up, and that was too much for him. He withdrew from the clan and from all the servers. But that's not what we wanted. We were just being playfully teasing. Kinda. Look, if we're gonna yap to everyone about taking the win, then we ought to be prepared to prove it. But we didn't want to ostracize him either for selling. He still carried for most of the event. He still helped a lot of us complete our collections. He was still part of our clan. And as a clan, we would have stood together as 5th place. So we didn't make the top 3 on the Discord leaderboard, and sure, I had a feeling of disappointment in the heat of the moment, but that quickly faded away when I realized the event was over. There were no more games to complete with my team, No more eggs to trade with my friends. All that was given to be completed has been completed. The menial tasks, the excessive merging, all that I have left are these items and these numbers. But no, I have the memories. Was playing 400 games fun? Not really. Was staying up all night fun? No. But was doing all of this with my friends fun? Of course. Suffering with my team or lifting up my companions brought me all of the pride. For the majority of the event where there is no enjoyment, I had people playing with me. And so, this hollow shell of an event was hollow no longer when it was shared with the people amongst me, where we can share a laugh about the tiny egg prizes or the absurd amount of games, and whether we'd even be able to complete this event, and that's all that mattered. These numbers and these games don't mean anything to me. We're not numbers on the leaderboard. We're not just players to throw garbage games at. We're human beings. And the hatch is Retro Slop. Cut. Here are our finalized placements. The guy at first place was doing something naughty and got removed, so for the darkness biome, I was second, Profile was 4th, Clouds was 15th, Newbie was 54th, and VX was 71st. WR farming. Clouds was 82nd on the fire biome, and I was 18th on the air biome, and more people with Squid Game Tower finished up, so unfortunately I finished at 87th on the main leaderboard. I know I said they didn't matter, but round of applause for the boys.
When your balls are hanging low and they wobble to the flow, and you tie them in a knot or into a bowl, do they clank when you walk? Do they jingle when you talk? What a sound, bouncing all around. Don't forget